Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be doing a very highly requested makeup tutorial. I don't know if you remember this clip in one of my previous vlogs, but I got a lot of questions asking what makeup I was wearing and whether I could do a video tutorial of the look. It's actually a look I've been wearing pretty much every day for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I've just been obsessed with it, haven't felt the need to try anything else, and I've been wearing the same look every day. So I thought I'd make a quick video on it. It's very easy, it's kind of pinky, purpley eyes, purple eyeliner and a nice plummy lip. It's something a bit different from my usual browns, but it's still quite neutral, berry toned and very easy to wear. So I hope you enjoy seeing how I get the look, and be prepared for me with no makeup on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to start with the Burberry Fresh Glow foundation. I have the shade 26 Beige and I absolutely love this foundation. I've been wearing it pretty much every day this month. It's just really kind of natural and glowy and, you know, similar to the other foundations I love, just really easy to apply. And I'm going to be applying it with the Bobbi Brown full coverage face brush, which I do really enjoy. It's quite different to the Real Techniques buffing brush. It kind of soaks a bit more product into the brush, but it does give a really nice flawless base, and it's very easy to use and it's a very good size for travelling. So I'm just going to dot that on my chin, nose, forehead and cheeks. I usually use like 1.5 pumps to cover my face. I find you do have to use a little bit more foundation when using this Bobbi Brown brush. As I said, it does soak up a little bit of the product. So then I just buff that into the skin. I kind of do more of a stroking motion with this brush rather than circles, but it lays the product really nicely onto the skin. And then once I've applied all the product, I then start buffing quite heavily, just to make sure it's all buffed into the skin. Right, now the foundation's done. As you can see, it doesn't kind of cover blemishes and spots, it just leaves the skin looking really nice and fresh. So I am going to use concealer as well. After just doing my skincare video and saying that my skin's really easy and I never get spots, I suddenly got loads of spots. I think it's the change in the weather. So I've also run out of my NARS concealer, my favourite concealer, so I'm going to be using these two instead today. This is a Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher, which is really nice for under the eyes. It's very brightening. And this is the Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer, which is great if you do have spots or blemishes, and it's waterproof. So starting with the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm just going to twist it up a couple of times and then apply that just under the eye. I also get quite dark on the inside, so I apply quite a bit there. I'll also put what's left over just on my nose. Then using the Real Techniques setting brush, I'm just going to pat that in under the eye, and I'm patting just because that gives a little bit more coverage. And as you can see, it really brightens that under eye area. I also take a little bit onto my eyelid, just what's left over, just to kind of neutralise the colour on my lid. And then I'm taking the full cover concealer and just putting a little bit on my finger and applying that to any kind of red blemishes, like here on my chin, also around my nose, and a little bit more under my eyes, just where the Charlotte Tilbury didn't quite cover. I look ridiculous, but once this is blended in, I promise you can't see it. I'm just using the same brush and just blending that all in. Right, I'm done with the concealer. This spot here just isn't gonna, it's one of those ones that's raised, so I feel like it's never gonna disappear, but it's alright for now. And I'm actually gonna powder a bit now as well, because the concealer and foundation can feel a little bit wet, and because I've got a few blemishes, I wanna kind of set it in place. So I'm just gonna use my MAC powder and this nice little fluffy brush from RMK and just press that on. I'm not gonna sweep too much because I don't wanna move the concealer, but I'm just gonna press it on my chin and press it on my forehead where I have a little bit of shine. I know some people like to do their bronzer and blusher before powdering, but I prefer to just apply it straight onto my foundation and concealer. Okay, so now I need to bronze up my face because after the foundation and concealer, everything's looking a little bit flat. For this, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Film Style Bronze and Glow, which is her little contour and highlight palette. So I'm just taking this big fluffy brush from, I don't know how you say this brand, it's M-I-I, maybe it's just like me or my. I like this brush, and I'm just going to take a bit of the contour shade and put it in the hollows of my cheekbones. You can see already that makes such a difference, and it was so easy to do. I'm also taking a bit of that up to my temples and down my neck a little bit. I'm using it more as a bronzer, but if you wanted to contour more, then the Charlotte Tilbury Powder and Sculpt brush is really good just to get right in there. I'm then going to take the highlight shade and this little brush here and just apply that right to the tops of my cheekbones. It's very subtle but pretty. For blush, I'm using something super cheap that I absolutely love. It's from Gosh and it's their blusher in Flower Power. And yeah, I really like this. It's just a really nice, easy to wear, everyday pink. It's very pigmented as well, so you need a little bit on your brush. I'm just popping it right there on the apples of my cheeks. This Bobbi Brown sheer powder brush is great for blusher. It picks up the pigment really well. Okay, before I start my eyes, I'm just going to quickly do my brows and just fill in anywhere that needs filling in. I absolutely love the Anastasia Brow Wiz, but yesterday I bought this one, which is from Soap & Glory, and it's their Archery, and the packaging looks exactly the same. So I'm going to give it a go. I haven't tried it yet and see kind of how it compares. I'm just going to take the spoolie and run that through my brows, just brushing upwards. Right, the spoolie feels good. This packaging is literally exactly the same as the Anastasia. I'm just going to run that through the front of my brows. Feels very similar, but I'm going to wait and see how it lasts because it's all in the formula. Right, that should do. I haven't really done them that well, but they don't really need much doing to them at the moment anyway. I'm then going to use a clear brow gel. This one's from RMK, and I'm actually not a big fan of this one. I've run out of my Blink Brow Clear Gel. I need to get another one. This one sets really hard and crispy, which I'm not a huge fan of. It actually starts to hurt towards the end of the day, but it'll do for now. Even though I added concealer to the top of my lids, I do find that can sometimes make your eyeshadows crease, so I'm going to use an eye primer. This is from Urban Decay. It's their eyeshadow primer potion. This is really good if you find your eyeshadows disappear towards the end of the day, or they get a funny line through them, which is called like creasing. This is really good to just prime your eyelids, and I've recommended this to a lot of my mum's friends and they absolutely love it. So I'm going to take a tiny amount of that. It's just skin coloured, so you won't be able to see it, and just apply that to the lid with my fingers. So you can see it just kind of neutralises your eyelid and brings it to like a base colour. So for this pinky purpley eyeshadow look, I'm going to be using my Narcissist palette from NARS. But other palettes that have similar shades would be the Naked 3, which has some really pretty kind of pinks and purples in there. So if you have this, you can definitely use it as well. I also have some similar shades in my MAC palette. Shades like All That Glitters, or Sketch, or Satin Taupe. Those would all really work as well. But I'm going to be using this palette from NARS. I absolutely love it. It's got all these shades in it here and they're so beautiful. Quite a lot of cool tones, which is good for this kind of look. So I'm going to start with this kind of pinky shade here. I'm also going to use this light purple and then slightly darker purple as well. So these three right in the middle of the palette. I'm going to start by taking a big fluffy brush and take that light pink shade, which is very similar to MAC All That Glitters, and just apply that all over the lid. Pink sounds like a really scary shade to wear on your eyelids, but it's not actually pink. It's very kind of light champagne-y pink, and I think it's really pretty. Using the same brush, I'm then going to take the similar shade just to the right of that, which is kind of like a very light lilac-y purple. The shade is so pretty, and it's shimmery but not glittery, so it's easy to wear. I'm just taking this on the outer part of the eye, like the second half of the lid, and just blending it in. And then what I'm going to do is take the slightly darker purple, not much on the brush, and just blend that right into the outer corner. And this makes it look slightly smoky but nothing too intense. You can use the same one brush for this whole look, because if you go from light to dark it will be fine, and they're all very kind of similar toned shades. So you can kind of see the graduation from light to dark of colour. And then what I'm going to do is take a big fluffy blending brush and just blend that all together so it has smooth transitions and no harsh lines. Then I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush and take that middle light purple shade and run that right under the eye. And then take the dark purple and just add it to right to the outer corners under the eye. So that's the eyeshadow done, really pretty pinky purpley. And just to add to that kind of purple smoky plum look, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner in Elizabeth Violet. I love the shade. Her Rock and Coal liners are really smooth and easy to use, especially if you're not used to using eyeliners. So I'm just going to take that and run that across the top of my eyelashes, mainly on the outer corner, but it just kind of deepens it that little bit more. These go on really smoothly. I like to flick it slightly out and also rub it quite deep into the lashes. And then sometimes I take a fluffy brush and very, very lightly blend it. Okay, so the final thing for eyes is mascara, and I've recently been using this one from Tarte. It's their new, I think it's new, it's called Gifted, and this is insane. I absolutely love this mascara. You'll see, I hardly have to touch my lashes and it gives the most incredible length and lift. My eyelashes just kind of go like this and it's crazy. I'll show you. This is a really, really amazing mascara. The packaging is a bit funky and this like wooden packaging. But it just does wonders for my lashes. I'm looking right down into the mirror because I think that's the best way to do your mascara. You can really get right to the root. So that's one eye done. There's no clumping, no like weird separation. They just give amazing lashes. I love this mascara. I feel like you get a good amount of product on the brush, which is something that a lot of mascaras don't do. I'm definitely going to stock up on this mascara when I go to America. I'm actually going to New York soon, so if there's anything else you guys think I need, because I haven't got a very big list so far, so let me know. Anything that I should get from New York. Right, we're nearly done. The makeup is all done now. The eyes are done, purpley pink, and the skin is done. The final thing which I think really makes this look is the lipstick, and this is MAC Plumful. I've had this for years. It's one of my faves. I'm like halfway through it. It's just a really pretty plum shade, and I always get compliments when I wear it, so this is the one that I think goes really nicely with pinky purple eyes. You can just dab this one on, but I like to wear it quite strong. And that's the lipstick. So this is the final look. I've been loving wearing this recently, as I said. It's so like autumnal and I think really pretty and easy. I know it looked like it took a long time in this video, but actually once you get to like know the look, I do it really quickly in the morning. So thank you so much for watching. If you do recreate the look yourself, don't forget to tweet me at @LilyPebbles or tag me on Instagram. It's also at @LilyPebbles. I would love to see your photos. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.